viewers, this is Tree from Just Tree 411. Yes, I'm back to making videos for now. I'm going to have the Wizard Liz video coming up, but I decided to do a response video to Joe McBride. He is the sleazy lawyer for the Tate brothers who are still in jail. And he made a lot of comments on this interview with Sean Kelly from what is this thing called? The Digital Social Hour podcast. I'll leave a link to this video interview in the description box. But a lot of people have not been following this story. And one thing I know is about the Tates, they love to lie. And they tell so many lies that they muddy the waters. And a lot of people are like, well, this happened and that happened. And the lawyer also lies too, obviously, because he's getting paid millions of dollars from the Tates. And he's taking an opportunity to become a celebrity, having all these interviews and having all these appearances. And like, he's just loving the spotlight. This is the worst lawyer to have, by the way. He really can't do anything to stop the Tates from being extradited. However, let's not celebrate yet, because this can last 6 months to 2 years before they are before they are released to the custody of England and actually have to go to a British jail, because they were paying off. I'm not saying allegedly either. They had the Romanian government, which, remember, the Tate said that one of the most corrupt countries in Europe is Romania, because you could put the government, you could put the police, you could put the mafia, you could put all these people on a payroll while you just commit crimes. And they did that, and they kept them on the payroll, and hence why they kept pushing back their court date, putting them on house arrest. And it was Eric Trump and Roger Stone who flew from America to Romania to get them out from under house arrest, which ended up being a blessing in disguise, because if it wasn't for the fact that these clowns were going all over the world and then pissing off a lot of the politicians here in America, especially in Florida, they wouldn't be in jail right now. There's so many lies that have been said in this video. So what I'm going to do, this is a 37-minute video. I'm not going to listen to I am going to listen to the whole thing, but I'm not going to include the whole thing in the video, because he tells so many lies. And that's their tactic, is to muddy the waters, so you don't know what's the truth and what's a lie. I know what's a lie. I know what's the truth. So I'm going to, whenever he says a lie, I'm going to include that clip in the video, and then just get rid of everything else, because I'm just going to sit here and just listen.
Andrew and Tristan have been traveling the world for 3 years without incidents. And every now and again, we'll go into a country and they'll have a question about this outstanding TACA warrant, which is a warrant from the European Union.
Okay, there is no TACA warrant. There's no warrant from the European Union. They still haven't had the actual trial for all the charges and new charges that have been applied, I think last year, or maybe was it earlier this year, from the Romanian government. And then they have new charges from England, the United Kingdom, where they're also a citizen, have dual citizenship, one out of America and one out of the United Kingdom. So they have warrants from the United Kingdom, England. So that's particularly England. England wants them, not the European Union, okay? England.
And we explain the situation. They pull relevant documents. We give them whatever we carry on us. And they say, oh, yeah, you guys are telling the truth, and they let us go.
Okay, this is a lie. That didn't happen.
So, but, this time something more nefarious, something more foul is at play. And that's evidenced by the fact that my guys have been in solitary confinement for the past, what day is today? The past 11 days. Ron DeSantis got on stage and spoke about them in very ignorant fashion. I don't even think that he realized that they are American citizens.
They're also citizens of England, okay? They're also UK citizens. Their mama is a native-born UK citizen, and their daddy, I was about to say ain't crap daddy, is an American citizen. So they have dual citizenship. So they're going to their homeland. As a matter of fact, let's not forget that that's where they were raised. They were raised predominantly in the UK. So what are you talking about? They weren't raised predominantly here. I think they moved out of America when Andrew or Tristan was 8 years old. And they spend the rest of their lives in the UK. So the UK is their home, not America. Not America.
So he gave this big speech about how Andrew and Tristan were not welcome here, meaning Florida, and how that they were going to open up an investigation, how DeSantis and James Uthmeyer, the state attorney general, were going to investigate them and see what hooks that they can get into them to make their life hell. We, of course, mocked him and wiped the floor with him. Because
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. First of all, they were intimidating a woman who was testifying against them, and that was on the witness for the Romanian government. She's also on the list of witnesses for the UK as well, because she was trafficked. And they tried to intimidate her by sending their gang of enrollees to their what was it, PhD website or whatever. So the Tates, Andrew and Tristan, doxed this young lady. They sent their goons to intimidate her. She had to put a restraining order on them. And also, DeSantis was going to they actually started the investigation. The investigation isn't finished, to investigate the various crimes that was committed by the Tates against women in Florida. And so this is the reason why Andrew was mad about DeSantis. DeSantis like, we don't want no pimps here. We don't want rapists here in Florida. We don't want men like that in Florida. And so that was the reason why he was butthurt. And by the way, as soon as DeSantis said that, Tate skedaddled out of Florida. He got out of there within a matter of 4 hours, and he was in California.
That Andrew and Tristan had shown up here in South Florida for the specific purpose of, number one, participating in the defamation lawsuit that we're litigating in Palm Beach, and number two, to conduct business.
And they're losing that defamation case, by the way.
They need to make money. So Ron DeSantis had, as we say, egg on his face. He looked like the complete midget moron.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. That didn't happen.
He is. And he's had an axe to grind ever since. And, we are, I've spoken to many people in Washington and in Palm Beach, in Tallahassee, and in Miami, and this guy's fingerprints are all over it.
You know what? Now, that part is true that DeSantis had something to do with it. But the fact is that there was no egg all over his face. As a matter of fact, Andrew kept talking about, if you got to something against me, arrest me. Well, you got arrested. And they made sure to do it in Florida. And I'm glad DeSantis did it. Because notice how the Tates were walking all over Washington, D.C. Nothing was done. They were walking all over New York. Nothing was done. 2 Democratic areas. One is a city. Washington, D.C. is a city, not a state. And that's democratically ran. And New York, Mondani. Okay? Let's not forget Andrew was a fake Muslim like Sneeko. So they had to wait until they came to a red state to finally get arrested by the marshals on behalf of the United Kingdom.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, when he came on the show, he was very outspoken about him. I wonder if that ticked him off,
Yeah, DeSantis is, he's got a Napoleon complex for obvious reasons.
Projection. Boy, you're short. You ain't no but 5'6", and you got a nerve to talk about somebody with a Napoleon complex. Sit your ass down.
That's crazy. And this guy's running for president next election, right?
Yeah, and there's a strong chance he's going to win. I know everybody think little Rubio is going to win. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm in politics, by the way. A lot of people who are talking about politics don't know nothing about politics. What's so crazy is I'm in the process of leaving politics. But when people talk about, oh, yeah, Andrew Tate is responsible for Trump winning the election. No, he's not. Where did you get that from? And I know Myron Gaines, who's a homosexual, by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. He keeps telling everybody if it wasn't for them in the manosphere, Trump would have never won elections. Are you high?
And saying at the end of the day, look, it's a hit job, it's a stitch-up job. We all know that this did that, they're out to get me, and he could still win in a landslide victory because his messaging and because what he wants to do for our country is more important. Then people should see this the same.
Well, let me just say something. I'm so tired of this whole thing of, oh, Trump won because of the... Listen, Trump won the first time because Hillary was unlikable. Sorry, not sorry. And stop saying it was misogyny and there was sexist. No, people don't like her. I don't like her. And black folks, y'all trip me out with her pandering when she was on the Breakfast Club. What you got at her perk? I got hot sauce. Charlamagne said, are you pandering? She said, is it working? Because you people fall for a lot of stuff. You called my husband the first black president. So you people are not that smart. So that's the reason why he won. Then you dumbasses, when I say dumbasses, I'm talking about you dumbass Democrats, you put Kamala Harris. She wasn't even elected to run as president. You guys didn't vote for her. When I say you guys, I'm talking about Democrats. Y'all didn't have a DNC election to get her to run. They shoehorned her in. They literally kicked off Alzheimer, Poopy Pants Joe Biden, and said, she's going to run. I know y'all didn't vote for it. But that's who we're going to pick in the DNC. So you picked another woman that nobody liked. When I say nobody, sorry. You picked another woman that most people did not like. Now, just to show you how this had nothing to do with sexism, that had nothing to do with misogyny, if Michelle Obama would have ran against Donald Trump instead of Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama would have been the president. It had nothing to do with the fact that this is women, they would have never... Oh, yeah, she would have won. Because let's not forget, Trump won the popular vote. The same popular vote you said that he lost, and it was Russia when he won 2016. He won the electoral vote, but not the popular vote. And then you guys are, see, it's the popular vote. We need to do something about the electoral vote and get rid of the electoral system, blah, blah, blah. Now he won both. And y'all, what y'all got to say? Nothing. He won the popular vote because Kamala Harris is unpopular with the Democrats. Again, I know politics. You guys don't. But had Trump ran against Kamala Harris, had Trump, I'm sorry guys, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be messing up a lot. But I want to get this video out here. Had Trump ran against Michelle Obama, Michelle would be the president to this day. On God, she would.
It's no different. It is no different. After Trump goes, some of the two of the most powerful and famous guys you have online to continue the war forward for the America First movement and the pro-masculine movement is, of course, Andrew and Tristan Tate. Right? Andrew and Tristan Tate to the United Kingdom, knowing that they'll be executed as well.
They're not going to be executed. Where you getting this from?
Think about it. They want to lock them up in some horrible prison and make sure that they get murdered. Every time somebody likes...
Well, if they're in solitary confinement, they ain't got to worry about it. And by the way, why would they get executed in jail when most of those jails are filled with Muslims? And isn't Andrew Tate a Muslim? So wouldn't he just be fitting in with the rest of the daggone moosies? Okay. Oh, my goodness.
Them or compares them to Epstein. What they're doing is they're saying these guys are so bad that they deserve to be put in an orange jumpsuit and hung in their prison cells. And that is fundamentally
okay, evil. That was so out of the blue and so theatrical. Don't send the Tates to the jails for the crimes they have committed because they're going to get Epstein. Right, okay. I think that would be a great thing for that happen to them, but it's not.
Do you think if they landed in a different state, this would have happened? Like if they came to Cali, New York, Nevada or something?
No, because they were in New York, nothing happened. They were in D.C., nothing happened. And I'm glad it happened in Florida. Because the only place it could happen is in Florida. Let's see what Baldy's going to say.
Question. I think probably not.
Wow.
I think that there's a gentleman who was fast-tracked and promoted from Jacksonville, Florida, into the Department of Justice, Duval, something like that. I can't remember his name right now. He's a conservative guy, but he's a DeSantis guy. There are lots of DeSantis people at work here in the federal DOJ and in the state police. These are law enforcement agencies, state and federal. We work together hand in glove all the time. They have various kinds of joint task force. Everybody who I have spoken to, and I've spoken to some high-level people and some high-level operatives, they all said that that Andrew and Tristan are pawns in a much higher political game. And sure, they're going to serve them up to the UK, but the decision as to whether or not to extradite them, which is a Rubio-Trump decision, is what they're trying to force.
It's a Rubio decision. It's a Rubio decision. Now, Trump could, interfere. He could. He is the president. But it's a Rubio decision. Secretary of State.
Course, to make it hard for Trump. If Trump and Rubio say don't extradite, DeSantis uses this when he runs and he says, look, he defends this type of guys. Or if Trump and Rubio do extradite, then they run and they spin it some other way and they don't protect American citizens. They don't protect free speech.
Wow.
So this is designed to hurt them.
Okay. If Rubio signs those papers for the Tates to be extradited back to the United Kingdom, nobody of any importance is going to claim that Trump is against free speech. Nobody of any importance or any power is going to rally against little Rubio about being against free speech. Nothing's going to happen. Andrew Tate has lost so much credibility and so much favor in the eyes of society that it won't make a blip. You're just making this up.
In the midterms and to hurt them in the forthcoming election in 2028.
Holy crap.
So yeah.
It's not going to. This has nothing to do with the midterms. Again, political person here, you know what's going to affect the midterms against the Republicans? The economy.
Boom, headshot.
High gas prices.
Boom, headshot.
High food prices. And this constant war in Iran. This has nothing to do with the Tates. What's going on in our pockets for most people, that determines whether the Democrats will take over the Senate again or the House. Not no damn Andrew Tate. What the hell are you talking about? He doesn't have nothing to do with what's going on with the midterm elections. Nothing. As long as this war is dragging on, as long as the food prices are sky high, businesses are closing. As a matter of fact, look at all the layoffs that are happening right now. A lot of people are out of jobs. So this is something that has nothing to do with Andrew Tate, idiot.
Tough spot, basically. Other option sounds pretty bad, right?
Yeah, well, but look, we elected these guys for times like this to do the right thing and not to do the wrong thing. Because make no mistake about it, these guys get extradited. The manosphere, Gen Z abandons the Republican Party. AOC will be president. There's no.
First of all, AOC not even running for president. Second of all, where get that from? Second of all, Gen Z, these. The men at Gen Z, they weren't even the reason why Trump got elected. What are you talking about? This is he just says a lot of stuff just to be saying it. These pathetic men that are always talking about with your buddy count, with your buddy count, with your buddy count, you're gonna die with a whole bunch of kids. Hey, if a woman chooses cats over you, then you just that sorry. But anyway, these are not the type of men that go vote. They still live with their parents. They still crying about how much they can't get a woman to marry them and give them some coochie or whatever. On the both sides, I think I'm not going to listen to the rest of this because this is the part I'm like, okay, that was a banger. The more women you piss off on the left and the right, the more those women will come out and vote. Somebody like DeSantis is going to be a good runner. I mean, let's just look at it. There's no other governor who's better than DeSantis. And the reason why this bald head is still living in Florida instead of New York is because of DeSantis. The reason why a lot of people have moved from California, from New York to either Texas or Florida is because of DeSantis. You have nothing bad on DeSantis like you do Trump. You have nothing bad on DeSantis like you do little Rubio. But the thing about it is, who the hell the Democrats going to run? It sounds like they're going to try to run Kamala again. That's going to be bad news. All right, I'm going to listen to a little bit more of this, and then I'm just going to end it because it's getting really late. And I hate doing these late videos, but this is the only time I can do something like this.
There's no way a Republican is going to anybody from that party, from that people who are currently in the administration now. How could they possibly win if they betray two of the guys that have got? Who are they going to betray next? Joe Rogan? Put him in jail for his podcast? If they betray these guys after everything, nobody will ever believe in them again. No,
they have no power over the Republican Party. Okay, the fact that they are attached to the Republican Party is an anchor. Is actually a bad omen. Like, they have no influence over the Republican Party. You just making that up.
Could you?
Yeah,
how could you?
You're right.
You
this
know?
is a very, very pivotal decision because they've already lost a lot of support on the right. They've lost Sean Ryan. They've lost Candace. So this
not because of Andrew Tate. Are you serious? They didn't lose them because of Andrew Tate. What are you talking about? Candace, first of all, again, none of these clowns, especially this dumbass Sean Kelly, yeah, you're an idiot, don't even know the history of why a lot of these people have abandoned, the Republican Party. Candace is mad at Trump because Trump won't defend her against the Macrons when they had this big lawsuit against her. So she going unhinged. And she didn't even vote for Trump in 2020. She was supporting Vivek Ramaswamy or whatever his last name is. I'm sorry. Okay. She was supporting Vivek in 2020. And she didn't even vote for Trump in 2024. She said she's not going to vote for Trump at all in 2024. So she has been left the Republican Party. It's just that the Republicans didn't leave her because they swear that that's the Harriet Tubman on the right. Whatever. All right. Tucker Carlson just went straight up crazy. He's paid by Qatar. He's very, very, very pro-Islam now. And the Republicans are like, you're a traitor. You're a traitor. You're sitting here and telling us we should be more tolerant towards Islam. So that's the reason. It has nothing to do with the Tates. Nothing. Notice how Tucker has been radio silent ever since the Tates have been arrested. Notice how Candace has been radio silent ever since the Tates have been arrested. So if they were all about the Tates, they would have been chimping out on their social media platforms, but they're not. They're still arguing about Charlie Kirk.
A devastating blow, I believe,
It's crazy. There's either going to be a real moment of solidarity here, or there's going to be a kiss of the cheek, and we're just going to say, I know it was you, Fredo. That's the big betrayal scene from The Godfather. So, we still hope that, we don't have Fredos in the upper echelon of our government.
This had nothing to do with no Fredo, actually. I'm smart. I'm not dumb. It has nothing to do with The Godfather. The Tates are not influential with the Republicans. They don't have any power. I don't know how many times I gotta keep saying it. They have no power. They have none.
Let's wait and see.
Yeah, not to mention Tucker. They lost Tucker too. Fuentes.
They're losing. They're losing everybody. And
again, Nick Fuentes is not against. Nick Fuentes was against Trump. I do believe Nick Fuentes was against Trump in 2022 because Trump is not pro-white as if Nick Fuentes is completely white. Anyway, Nick Fuentes have been against Trump also since 2020, and he's been pushing for Democrats. He actually said it's best if we should have had Kamala. I don't agree with that. Than Trump. So he's now pushing Democratic politicians. And this had nothing to do with the Tates. Tucker Carlson has nothing to do with the Tates. Candace Owens has nothing to do with the Tates. Them leaving the Republicans have nothing to do with the Tates. You're just making that up. You're just lying.
Pretending like they don't need them, and that's just fundamentally
not true. They don't need them.
That's just not true.
It is true. It is true.
Alpha,
they don't need them. They don't.
Information differently than Gen X and the Boomers and everybody above them. Obviously, you know this. what's going on in X and Twitter is much more important to them than what somebody on Fox News or CNN is ever going to say.
Yeah.
Nobody from your generation down gives about any of that.
Nope.
So if they
they don't give a shit about Andrew Tate either. So what are you talking about?
that they're not going to,
Because actually, let's be clear. Andrew robbed a lot of these guys with the rug pulls from the cryptos. He's also taking advantage of them financially with their little classes and courses and stuff like that. There's a lot of men who are against Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate because they've been conned and scammed by these two idiots.
win. Without us, they're wrong. And look, it's also interesting to see, to that point, Abe Hamadeh, who's a rock star congressman. He got elected a cycle or two ago. He's a former prosecutor. He's from Arizona, and he's spoken out saying that Andrew and Tristan should not be extradited. Right? So this
first of all, I don't know who this guy is. He's in Arizona. Okay, wow, that's gonna. I've never heard about this guy. But so what? You got one Republican politician who's saying, "Hey, they should have never been arrested." Okay, can you name me one person in the White House who's going to be on Andrew Tate's side? Can you name me one person in Congress who's on Andrew Tate's side? No. Oh, okay.
guy, if other people, January 6th was an unpopular thing to speak about until a bunch of Republicans grew the balls to speak about it, right? So if some other people step up, and that'll be great, but Abe Hamadeh will be the first guy to say,
it's not going to do it. Then it's not going to happen.
The men and women who spoke first. Why do I say that? Because as some other counterpart, a woman, a female congressman, I can't remember her name, but she's a nut job, socialist, psychopath feminist who hates America and hates men, from Arizona, has subsequently called for Barron Trump to be investigated for his ties to the manosphere and so on and so forth.
What?
So, oh yeah, it's all over the place.
Okay.
So,
I don't care about that. And if Barron Trump gets investigated, good. Let that happen, okay?
Boom, headshot.
Because if that lanky-ass, dopey, ugly thing is on Tate's side, then let it happen. I don't care. At this point, you got Greasehead, and whenever I say Greasehead, I'm talking about Donald Trump Jr. You got Greasehead following Andrew Tate. Same thing with J.D. Vance. F him too. Then you had Eric Trump and Roger Stone going to Romania to get them released from house arrest. So I don't care. Investigate the entire Trump family. I do not give a damn. Trump will never get reelected again because he already served 2 terms. You can't run a 3rd time. I don't care how many times you meme about it. DeSantis is the front runner for the Republicans, and this is the reason why I do believe that little Rubio will sign those papers. Because if he doesn't, child, if he doesn't sign them extradition papers, it's a wrap. Anyway, I'm not going to keep going about this. This guy lies so much. I didn't think I was going to talk so much during this video about all the lies that he's spreading, but he did spread a lot of lies. But anyway, let me know what you think by leaving a comment below this video. Don't forget to give me a like, and if you're new to my channel, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, taters.